Now, the defense might be arguing with one another because obviously, the locker room had to be closed off from reporters because we could see players and Calais Campbell restraining one player from going after another on the defensive side of the ball because the belief is that guys are not doing their job because they're trying to overcompensate. They're trying to do too much. But I think this notion that we attribute it to, the shine and trying to be popular because they were known as an elite defense, that's not what's going on here. Here's what's going on. They know their quarterback stinks. They know that their offense without Leonard Fournette stinks. And as a result, they're trying to win games. And they believe that, just defending and stopping opponents is not enough. They've got to make plays and literally score for them to win because they have no faith on the offensive side of the ball. Now, in Blake Bortles' case, keep in mind that a lot of people feel you should be looking at Tom Coughlin because Tom Coughlin, executive VP for the Jacksonville Jaguars, signed Blake Bortles to a 3-year extension at $54 million in the offseason in February because he looked good last year, 21 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, had a decent season, completed over 60% of his passes for the first time in his career. So Tom Coughlin got caught up in that source. Plus, they wanted to trim their cap hit from $19 million, which it would have been, to $10 million once they made the new deal to extend him, holding his rights through 2020. He'll be one of the cheapest quarterbacks in the NFL next season, and we get all of that. But if you're the Jacksonville Jaguars defense, you got a problem with everything in the organization because you like damn cheapness. We went to the AFC Championship game last year. We're an elite defense, and you bring us back this garbage. We can't do anything with this guy quarterback. We can't do anything with this offense. So what are we going to do? We're not going to be risk averse. We're going to go after it. We're going to take chances. We're going to try to make things happen because that's the only shot we have of winning. As a result, guys might not do their jobs from time to time because they're busy trying to do somebody else's job on top of their job. They make mistakes, and they end up bickering with one another. But I assure you, when they calm down and they huddle in somebody's home or the next morning or whatever, and they really get down to the crux of what is going on with this team, it's going to come down to this. Our quarterback stinks. We got no shot at winning with him. And they know it, and they still brought his behind back. That's our problem. We got to band together and hold off our frustration in that regard. But the real problem doesn't lie with us as a defense. It lies with that damn Blake Bortles, and we just can't say it. That, to me, is what I'm getting from them.
Victor Cruz also here with us. Victor, what are your thoughts on this?
I think he's absolutely right. I think Jalen Ramsey understands, and that team understands that offensively, they can't do anything. They're struggling with the loss of Leonard Fournette. They're struggling with Blake Bortles' inconsistencies, hence why he got benched yesterday. They're struggling with that, and as a defense, he's looking around like, what are we supposed to do? We can only bend but so much before we break. We only understand what we can do, and obviously as a defense, they've been letting some points up. It's not obviously all on the offense, but it's hard to play that way when your back's against the wall and your defense is expected to show up in such a major way. So I agree. I mean, Jalen Ramsey understands. I don't know. I can't speak to what's going on in that locker room as far as that defense and guys being held back, but Jalen Ramsey understands that our quarterback stinks. For lack of better words, our quarterback is not the type of quarterback that we need on this team to win ball games, and it's costing us right now.
Here's the problem, though, for Jalen Ramsey. When you start talking, and talking big to start the season, and my hat's off to you, Jalen Ramsey. You're going up against Odell Beckham Jr. You're talking. You got torched. But people respect that. I don't care if you're playing zone or man-to-man. There will be times where you will get blamed if the receiver makes a big play, and you were going right at the baddest dudes in the game, and you had confidence not only in yourself but in your teammates on defense. Problem is, now you got to keep talking. You got to keep talking when the going gets rough. And the going got rough. And I'm going to get to Blake Bortles in a second and what he's really saying about that. Here's the bottom line. The Jags gave up 30 to Kansas City. Okay, no big deal, right? Because Kansas City's defense showed out too. Then they gave up 40 to the Cowboys. 40 to the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. And then you just gave up 20 to the Texans, but 40 to the Cowboys. I don't want it. Well, if we had Fournette, you can control the run. That goes hand in hand with the defense, and we're demoralized by the quarterback. Excuses. You have 40 to the Cowboys. Defense is not showing up. And by the way, and this was in the ringer, by the way, things like red zone defense, even sacks, but especially takeaways, that's a lot of variance from year to year. In other words, some of that's luck. And the Jags kind of, as in addition to having a good defense, lucked up a little bit last year. That regressed to the mean. So now they're not getting that on defense. So is Blake Bortles good enough? No, especially in this day and age. The numbers Blake Bortles puts up just doesn't cut it. He shouldn't be a starting quarterback for the Jags. But the defense ain't doing their job right now.
But those two things go hand in hand. Those two things are like, you know, especially when the offense isn't doing well, Jalen Ramsey and that defense are like, man, what are we doing out here? It plays an effect on your morale. Just like on the offensive side, when the defense is letting up points, offensively, like, man, we can only do but so much, but defenses, you know, they're not helping us out in this regard.
Max, let me drop this on you to close this segment and just sleep on this just for the commercial break. The Dallas Cowboys dropped 40 on Jacksonville. Fair enough, no excuses. Bottom line is you're the Jacksonville Jaguars. You're a big-time defense. You can't wilt beneath the storm because you're frustrated with your offense because elite defenses don't do that. I understand that point, Max. I'm going to close the segment by saying this. They may have given up 40 to the Dallas Cowboys. Do you know that the Jacksonville Jaguars defense has scored 28 points for the month of October? 28 points for the month of October. Total.
Yep.
If there's ever a reason to be depressed,
sounds like a
that
Tom
would be
Coughlin.
it.
Certainly missing Leonard Fournette, though, and obviously T.J. Yeldon's also banged up, and Carlos Hyde they brought in, he hasn't played yet, and they lost Marquise Lee for the season as well. So the offense, they need that.
By the way, in this
back.
day and age, the way the offenses are, there's almost no such thing as a great defense. You better have an offense.
Yep.
Exactly.